Hello everyone, it is me, definitely not the Joker baby here, and okay, can we get some lights on please? Ah yes, that is much better. Where was I? Oh yeah, in today's video we're going to be doing a classic on the Mega Maniacs channel. We're going to be revisiting every Lego DC game. Pretty fitting, I would say. So, we're going to be taking a look at every single game, from Lego Batman, the video game, all the way up to Lego DC Super Villains. Now, like the last one that I definitely did, playing every Lego Marvel game, we're going to be doing things a little differently. See, we're going to be splitting this video up into two parts. The first part, which is the video you're watching right now, we'll be talking about Lego Batman, the video game, and Lego DC Superheroes 2. Or Lego Batman 2, whatever you want to call it. And the second part, we'll be focusing on Lego Batman 3 and Lego DC Super Villains. So yeah, it could be crazy. We'll be talking about a bunch of games, so let's go right ahead and get into Lego Batman, the video. Lego Batman, the video game. Alright, for this game, I'm gonna have to set some ground rules and some disclosures before we actually get started. So, the big problem with Lego Batman 1 and Lego Batman 2 is that I have been playing all of these games on the PS5, PlayStation 5. Which means that I have to stream these games to be able to play them, since you cannot play these games normally. The only problem with streaming games on PlayStation is that you cannot record your gameplay. So, for both of these games, the gameplay shown is either going to be cutscenes or not my gameplay. I'm sorry, I wish it was a different way, but that's just how PlayStation works. Although I did play through both of these games, and I'll try to find footage to explain it the best I can. But if footage doesn't quite line up, yeah, that's why. Another side effect of streaming is that the quality of the gameplay was reduced significantly, so there's a few things with the first Lego Batman and Lego Batman 2, like the insane amount of lag and a crash I had, that I will not be using against the game, since, you know, the game, it's not really the game's fault, it's just the streaming thing. I'm also not going to use the bad graphics of Lego Batman, the video game, against it, because that was what it was at the time, and to compare something from 2023 to what 2008, it doesn't really work that well. So yeah, there's a few things about this game that, yeah, it is a product of the time and I'm still gonna complain about it, but the graphics, I don't really care. Alright, with all of that out of the way, let's talk about Lego Batman, the video game. Alright, Lego Batman was all first. Now, I think I do agree with people who say that this is the best classic Lego game. This and the Complete Saga are just far and away the best classic Lego games. This game is pretty good, I'd say. There's a lot of fun stuff to it. But honestly, Lego Batman, the first one, it's interesting. I remember this game being like really cool and really big back in the day, but it really isn't. Like, there's a lot to do here, but it's all structured very weirdly. Like, you have the main story, which is kind of very short, kind of. There's not a lot to it. And then there's a bunch of other goofy stories, and like, goofy stuff, including a villain story, which, how have we not gotten more of this? Like, I know there's an entire game based on the villains, which, trust me, we'll get to. But, I mean, they just probably do stuff like this more in LEGO games nowadays. It's just such a cool concept. Now, yes, this game really doesn't stand a chance compared to the other three. Because I know I said I wasn't going to judge it too much about its age, because, again, for back in the day, it was very, very good. But when you're directly comparing them to the other three LEGO Batman / LEGO DC games, and you're playing it in 2023, you could tell, the age shows, right? The age really shows. Even completely disregarding the graphics, the gameplay is super simplistic. Most of these levels didn't take, like, any time at all, and I was able to fly past most of the levels in this game. The puzzles are pretty rudimentary. Everything in this game is rudimentary, right? It's like, just standard. And there's nothing wrong with standard. Again, I love this game, and I think it's good. But it doesn't compare to any of the other future games we're gonna be talking about today. And I don't think it's held up amazingly compared to LEGO games have released nowadays. Is it bad by any means? Not at all. This game is still the GOAT, right? I still had so much fun playing this game. Even though, like, the Batcave is supersized down and not as, like, cool or big as the other Batcaves in the other games, even though the gameplay is pretty rudimentary, this game's just a lot of fun and a huge nostalgia blast for anyone who plays it. We're still back in the era of no talking in LEGO games, just goofy grunts, which honestly I kind of wish LEGO would go back to for a game, right? I love the dialogue, like actual dialogue, but I feel like for like one game they should go back to like classic grunting for like one game. That would be kind of cool, to me at least. I don't know, man. This game wasn't the LEGO Batman game I played the most in my childhood, but it's still really good. I still really like it, and yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Again, it's very rudimentary. There's nothing really crazy to touch on. The story, I'd say it's non-existent, really. There is basically no story. It's just kind of beating up Batman villains, which, again, nothing wrong with that. But it is kind of just beating up Batman villains, so there's no real story to talk about. So I don't really have much to talk about with this game. Not as much as I have any of the other future games on this list. So, yeah, that's about all for LEGO Batman, the original. So now that we've finished talking about LEGO Batman, the video game, it's time to talk about my childhood, LEGO Batman 2.
Bruce, it's been 5 years. You still owe me $16. Fuck off.
LEGO Batman. The second one. LEGO Batman 2. Now, I'm gonna be honest. LEGO Batman 2 is the LEGO game I remember most fondly. That one and LEGO Marvel Superheroes I played just so much. They are probably the LEGO games I have the most time on. And, you know, this game, I don't know why, but I feel like it holds up better than LEGO Marvel Superheroes. Now, I know, that's probably gonna get a lot of people angry, right? Because LEGO Marvel Superheroes is considered the GOAT by a lot of people. And don't you get me wrong, it is still a good game. Like I said in my playing every LEGO Marvel Superheroes game video, it's a good game, and I think LEGO Batman 2 just holds up better. Genuinely, I don't have much to complain about here. I could just talk about a bunch of nitpicks, but like Goofy, like Supergirl existing in this game for some reason, even though she quite literally is the most useless character ever. But like, Why? Like, why? Because the actual game is so good. Playing this nowadays, even with the streaming, having to play it through PlayStation streaming, to where the game crashed a few times it was damn near unplayable, I still had so much fun. This is just a fun game, man. It's just a fun game. And it actually has a story to it. It actually has a story. And that's kinda cool. Alright, since this game, you know, actually has a story, we're gonna cover it. Because it is insane. This game's story is one of the best LEGO game stories I have ever seen. It is so good. And you can tell how good it is, considering that they basically took the cutscenes from this game, put them all together, and made it a movie. Yes, they made a movie out of this game. Back in the day, that was the LEGO Batman movie. This game was the LEGO Batman movie. That is how crazy. Just insane. Just insane the story of this game is. Basically, the story of the game is Lex Luthor, yes, Lex Luthor, because he and Superman are big players in this game, which is really cool. The first game focused on Batman and his villains, not really in the story, because again, that was non-existent, but, you know, as, like, main characters. This game focuses on Batman and his villains, but also Superman and his villains. That's just so cool to me. But Lex Luthor breaks all of the Joker and the gang out of jail because he has a straight up gun that can destroy anything. It's basically a brick separator if it was a gun. It just tears anything it comes into contact with apart. And he just has this. He calls it the deconstructor because, yeah. Basically breaks Joker out of jail, and it's kind of ambiguous on what his goal is through all of this, because he makes a batch of fake kryptonite that Batman and Robin eventually steal, but the fake kryptonite is straight up a bunch of tracking devices that lead them right to the Batcave, where they can just destroy the entire thing. So, you might be wondering, what the hell is Lex Luthor's plan here? Well, it's revealed in the game that Lex Luthor is running for president. And his entire plan is to get rid of Batman and Superman so that he can rig the election to make himself president of the United States. What? May I remind you, this is the story of a LEGO game. A black toy game. This is really interesting. I could see why they made it a movie. But that's not even it. They actually write Batman, Robin, and Superman so well in this game. They are done beautifully. Batman feels more true to character than he has in a while in some of the movies. Like, he is way more true to character than anything Batfleck ever was. And I know that's probably going to piss some people off, but it's true. In this game, he is very true to character. They even explore that Batman has a stash of kryptonite in case Lego Superman goes rogue. Yes, that's a plot point in this game. What? And Lex Luthor's entire plan to get rid of Superman is, again, to use all of the kryptonite, but he puts the kryptonite inside of a giant Joker mech that the Joker just has now. This game's story is so crazy, I'm not even gonna finish it, right? I'm not even gonna finish talking about it. I'm gonna ask you, yes, you the viewer, to go play this game. Just find some time in your day, go play this game, because I don't want to spoil the story for you. It is so good that you just need to see the ending of this for yourself. It is actually, I honestly would argue this is the best story in a LEGO game. They did this so well. I don't even know. And just even leaving the story of this game kind of behind and not talking about it like as a main focus, the gameplay is way better than the first game. They upped it in every single regard. Graphics, just there's actually sound now, there's voice acting from absolute legends. Being honest, the actual gameplay is so good. Everything about it, the puzzles, the combat, the everything, the suits of Batman and Robin, which I didn't even touch on the other suits, like the electric suit, the cold suit, the goofy cold suit, the classic hazmat suit, and the classic acrobatic suit for Robin. Like, everything in this game is a step up to the original. This game hasn't been top story-wise, and it probably won't be top. I can see why I put so many hours in this game, and truly, this game is just the GOAT of LEGO games. I honestly don't know how you could get better than this, really. It's insane. This game doesn't feel like a LEGO game. It feels like an actual Batman game. Maybe not on the level of the Arkham games, because, of course, those are an entire different type of game, right? But I'd say the story is really good on this still. I mean, props. This was the game that made me fall in love with LEGO games, and probably for a lot of other people too. Just round of applause, TT Games. This is one of your best. And here's where I cut it off. See, now that we've talked about LEGO Batman the video game and LEGO Batman 2, arguably the most well-known and most respected LEGO Batman games, we're gonna split this up, two-parter, and in the next video we'll be talking about LEGO Batman 3 and LEGO DC Super Villains. Two games that I don't see a lot of people talking about, so I am quite excited to play those, and for LEGO DC Super Villains, play that for the first time since I've never played that game before. I cannot wait. So, I'll see you all in that video. Bye bye! It's me, actual Mega Maniacs. If you're seeing this, I'm making in progress. So, as you know, after I watched all of LEGO Shiba, the Joker arrived, and he kind of yoinked the sandal, and that's not good. I hope he knows that this is the most cliche thing ever, and that he's like the goofiest villain ever. But I'm taking back the sandal. I don't know what he's doing with it. This Goofy playing every LEGO DC game is, I don't know if he's trying to prove a point, if he's just trying to run the sandal now. I don't know what he's doing, but he's trying to do it. So I'm taking the sandal back. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. Trust me.